Hi, I'm Mickey Zeta, and this is Wednesday Night Live with Mickey. I'm so glad to have you here with me tonight. This is, you know what? It's September. And gosh, I'm so excited. It's getting dark earlier, so that's pretty amazing. It used to be kind of sunny when I was doing my 7:30 live video, and so here it is. Hi, Jan. Glad to have you here. Hi, Valerie. Yay! I'm happy to have you here too. So what I'm talking about tonight is Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso said, "Everything you can imagine is real." Everything you can imagine is real. Well, we all know Pablo Picasso. He did, angle faces and pictures of women, and then their heads were like somewhere else. This man had an amazing imagination, and he made his stuff real. Now, I don't understand Picasso's art. I don't even pretend to understand Picasso's art, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that he made real what he was imagining. And that's what you and I can do too. What we imagine is real because it's created in our minds. Our reality is created in our minds. You've heard me say before that positive thinking is not the deal. Positive thinking is not what gets anything done. When we think positive, we create an emotion, and it's the emotion that makes a difference. You can think positive, or something happens, you have a thought, and that thought creates an emotion, and that emotion is what creates action. So if your imagination is something wonderful, your emotion is joy and happiness. Now, if underlying that joy and happiness is fear, guess what? That wins out. That wins out. So I'm going to use an example of a car that I wanted to buy. I decided that my car was paid for. I hadn't had car payments in a long time. You know how that is. And I didn't really want to take on a car payment, but I needed a new car. So what I did was go looking for cars. And I couldn't find anything that I wanted. I couldn't find anything that would work for me. The color was wrong, or I didn't like the way it drove, or I wanted a convertible. I was getting a convertible. So something was wrong with the top. Either it made too much noise going up or down, or it would stick. These were not brand new cars, obviously. These were new to me cars, new to me. And when I really gave it some thought, I realized that I wanted to buy a new car. That was what I was imagining. That's what I was picturing. But underneath that was a fear. It was a fear that I had just gotten divorced. I really wasn't making a whole bunch of money. And was I smart to take on a car payment right now? So that fear is what underscored all my happiness about getting a new car. It made every single car not work until I figured it out. And then I thought, okay, now I get it. I'm imagining what I want, but I'm underlying that fear with, can I really afford a car payment? So I figured out what I could pay. I figured out what could I afford, and that's what I bought. I bought something that was a convertible, and it turned out great, but it was a price that I could afford, and that's how I eliminated that. So that works for absolutely anything. If you have just left your abuser, or you've recently left, and what you're doing is thinking all the time about him. You're thinking about your abuser. And not that you're missing him, not that you're wanting to go back, but you just can't get him out of your mind. Well, that imagination, that is going to keep you connected to him. So here's what I'm going to suggest if that's your situation. And it sounds crazy, but you know what? It's what I used, and it worked. So when I started thinking about my abuser shortly after I left, I imagined that there was this tie. There was this connection. There was like a string, or you could call it a rope, whatever you want to call it. There was this connection between me and him. And I imagined that it connected on my side. I don't know why that's where it felt like it did, but that's where it did. So my imagination had me connected to my abuser, to my ex-husband. So what I decided was, I can cut this. I can cut this rope. So I imagined a big pair of scissors, and I would just cut that connection. And that was my imagination. And guess what? In about, it might have taken a week, maybe 5 days or a week. And pretty soon I was not thinking about him all the time because I had cut the connection in my mind. So first I imagined that connection was there, and then I cut it. I just cut it. And it works. What we can imagine is real. What we imagine is real. It creates our reality. What we imagine creates our reality. You probably heard me say when I was a kid, my mom told me that I was average. I was probably in the 3rd or 4th grade. And I was upset because I didn't do well on a test or something, I don't know. And she said, honey, it doesn't matter. You're probably not going to get A's. You're just average. And I thought, I'm just average. What does that mean? I'm just average. But I took that in. That became my imagination. My belief about myself was that I was average. And pretty much that's what I was all through school. All through school, I was average. Well, I'm not an average person. I don't know why I accepted that reality. But I was in college before I said, wait a minute, there's nothing average about me. I'm like on the edge. I like to figure things out. I like to think different. I like to be out there and use my mind and create realities different from what I'm experiencing right this minute. So there's another example. If you're carrying around an image of yourself that was given to you by somebody else, let it go. Let it go. You can do the string thing again. Imagine whatever that belief is, and imagine that there's a string connecting that to your brain or to your heart or to whatever part of your body you want. Take an imaginary pair of scissors, chop it off, just cut it off, and let it go. It works. It absolutely works. Hi, Valerie. I'm so glad to have you here. And I hope that wherever you are this evening, you're having a great time, that everything's going well for you. So that's pretty much what I'm talking about tonight. It's that everything that we can imagine is real. Not that we can make it real. It is real. In our brains, it is real. You've heard me say before, our subconscious, whatever our subconscious hears, it accepts and it believes and it creates. It creates. So be careful about what you think. Be careful about how you imagine things. And choose. Make a conscious choice to change anything that's negative. Make it a positive. Make it something that really works well for you. And embrace that. Embrace that. Bring it into reality. I'm Mickey Zeta. I'm so glad to have you here with me on Wednesday Night Live with Mickey. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, you know that my website is survivingabusenetwork.com. survivingabusenetwork.com. And you can go to my website. Please go there. I've got lots of other videos, lots of podcasts. I've got some articles that I've written. And, oh yeah, I want to mention, I wrote a book. It's called Looking Behind Closed Doors. And the subtitle is Domestic Abuse. If we don't change, nothing changes. So check it out. Go on Amazon. It's a paperback and it's also on Kindle. Download it on Kindle if that's how you want to read, or get the book. I love books because I can write in the margins and highlight and do all those things. I love books. I haven't switched to Kindle yet. I know a lot of people do. Pretty much all my friends say if you'll try Kindle, you'll never go back to a book. But I like holding a book in my hand and turning the pages and highlighting and marking up and all that stuff. All right. Thank you so much. Please go on Amazon. Check out my book, Looking Behind Closed Doors. Or you can look it up with my name, Mickey, M-I-C-K-I-E, Zeta, Z-A-D-A. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I will be back on Sunday night, Wine with Mickey. So be sure to come back on at 7:30 Eastern Time on Sunday night. Thank you so much. Go to my website. Check it out. There's a lot of good stuff there. I will talk to you later. Remember, everything that you can imagine is real. It's real. So be careful what you're telling your subconscious. Be careful about what you're thinking about, because you'll bring it about. What you think about, you bring about. You've heard that before. So make sure it's positive. Make sure it's empowering. Make sure that it's making you be the best you that you can ever be. Every single day, do your best. And remember that what you imagine is real. So be careful. Be careful about what you talk about in your head. Be careful how you talk to yourself. And be careful about what you imagine. Make it happy. Make it joyful. Make it good. Make it prosperous. Make it abundant. Those are all the things you deserve, and you can create those. You can create those. Okay. Thanks a bunch. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.